Hi, how's it in the name of Christ? How you doing? It's your girl Karabo. I hope you're good. I hope you're peachy. I hope you're stellar, and I hope you're in a neat little bunch. If you're not, welcome to the party. Is that just not the story of our lives? What's up? I'm shaking. Today is the 13th of November 2024. And the title is Filth has declared war, but only because that's how God is killing it. Filth has declared war, but only because that's how God is killing it. I'm shaking right now because I have just fought for my life. So it's written in God's word that work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Like I implore you, but you don't really have to take me seriously, because at the end of the day, this here is a serious matter. You must understand that I will do anything to survive today and then live to repent tomorrow. Hauna muthu that's going to push me over the edge and succeed to get me hanging on a noose when they're the ones going to hell. There's a whole bunch of men, including the filth in America, that have a little bit of a jihad mindset where I'm concerned, suicide bombing, telling themselves that they're gonna kill me, then kill themselves. How their spells manifest is in the way that whatever vessel of wickedness is in the environment treats me. You must understand that I will throw a stone and knock a person to the ground to render them catatonic for 30 seconds, enough for me to escape a moving bus. I will save my life by any means necessary. I have just been poked and prodded away at by some drunk on the property where I stay. And Lona is easily usable because of their alcohol habit. And I went and I grabbed the juicy that she uses to dash alcohol. And I just threw them all over the complex. Because she decided to poke and prod away at me. She's been busy since last night. Do that because I'm in the middle of all-night prayer. I no relax. I no blow. So she manifests demons and tries to push me to the end of myself. The corner of my eye. And when she finally made a decision to basically just poke at my eye, this person went and took my drinks in the refrigerator, adibaya kitchen countering, and then filled up the fridge with her crap. While hers just fill out the fridge. Something that even my mom would have a bone to pick with, because this many people. You don't get to fill the refrigerator with all your trash, especially considering it's all your alcohol trash. You like your juices nice and cold and nice and frosty and nice and icy so you can mix them with your freaking vodka. And then you go and you move Karabo's drinks out of the fridge to chill on the counter so that everybody in these streets can move aside for some crazy people. I grabbed those juices and I threw them as far as my weak little arms can throw. And they landed on the pavement, the garage, whatever. I then swung her door open and told her where to get off with the highest voice I could. She closed the door. She was on a call. I then banged the door again so that the people that she's on the phone with could hear that I'm pissed. Following which, I went outside, seeing as the complex has rules. Can't be just throwing garbage on the floor. So I went and I grabbed her garbage drinks and I threw them in the room where she was at, just to let her know that next time you do something to poke and prod away at me again, I'm not going to just sit around waiting for you to end my life, adding insult to my injuries because you are reciprocating with satanic men that want to slip into my life kankane, or have me die. You're not going to make me nar. You're not going to make me nar. I avoid you for good reason. Barely talk to you for good reason. Chifta around in the periphery for good reason. I just freaking avoid you for good reason. Because you're satanic. And every time you be out here that you hide in your bedroom, you get worse. So for good reason, largely angikfuni. When I am nicely avoidant of you and then you decide in Jefela Hong Kogela, sisters, I will give you a lack of peace for a good 5 minutes. So that next time you pull a stunt, you will think again. I will interrupt you in the middle of a call with a person that thinks highly of you, and I will yell and scream until you have to get off the phone, so you can understand that you don't just get to literally risk my life and get away with it. This here is not a game. I'm in a spiritual war. So Banna, allow me to help you understand this. I'm fighting for my life, and I'm gonna win. Because the people who are poking and prodding away at me are crazy. They're crazy enough to cause everybody else on the left and on the right to be like, but why did you do that? So ultimately, my side is gonna get taken. You don't want to poke at me, neither prod away at me. Fast and furious before I will grab a noose and hang myself. I will throw like it is a brick into a window. A whole full juice, liquid fruit, go pavementing, so you can understand that next time get great spinning because I'm concerned about body corporate rules. Next time, get great hella on your head. The same person months back, poking and prodding away at me, she is the only reason why I've ever attempted suicide. Poking and prodding away at me. I finally shoved her, I pushed her, and ever since then she hasn't pulled any stunt of that nature. What I'm trying to explain to you guys is the very thing that I spoke about the other day. Couple of videos ago. I said that Satan. I will never accommodate these idiots, but you see, that's just the sad thing. The moment you say ew over my dead body, they're like, okay, fine, then I guess die. But listen to this. I did say that y'all don't want me in the company of a filthy satanic man otodula ang jesang nkare ke janestam. Otodula ang nwesang lebeseng nkare ke ngwana. That's always just going to keep on spiking my drink because minang zombulala. You must understand, I'm under so much attrition. I am under so much war. I am in so much spiritual war. There is so much sorrow encircling me that when I see that somebody's trying to kill me or react or manifest demons so as to end my life, so as to cause me to quickly just commit suicide, in and of myself I get violent. So it's written in God's word that the kingdom of heaven suffers violence and the violent take it by force. Nankutwa. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence and the violent take it by force. So if you are going to poke and prod away at me just to irritate me without realizing that you could make me commit suicide, I'm gonna freaking get violent. So I am literally 5 seconds away from killing somebody. That's what needs to be comprehended. So all these men that think that they can just slide into my life by causing misery through my family. But the beautiful thing about this is that I don't have to drive a knife into your hearts because I'll never accommodate you. But you see, the beautiful extra thing about it as well is that I've been saying the past videos that I've been posting, nobody is going to stand in front of me and sharing this work for petty reasons. Ana motho o tlong tulang mo sefubeng. O ka se tlosweng ka sethunya la nkutlwa. So let's just get straight into this like I said. Manifestation ya rabishi ya letawa le mo jarateng. E tswa ka montle ke a itlhaloganya. Mara letawa la lona le dula le tlo latlhelwa letawa la lona is gonna have monyako kicked in on her. Alo latlhelwa ka di juicy mo tlhogong. Aba sa retaliate because I'm stronger than her, after all ke letawa. You must understand. Ntwa e ke leng mo yona no is unto death. This is not just sibling rivalry la nkutlwa. Ke lefu. Leng chebileng le ntonetse matlho cause batho ba busy ka di human sacrifice rituals. So go chiftisa letawa la lona mo saiteng kampama. Antlogele because of that. Following which I'm then going to go into spiritual war against you. Seeing as hale mo mo jarateng dinjato etsa go loya ka dikorobela. This is what's good. I can't come to you personally and just flail whatever thing in kai tholang mo saiteng, a knife, I get it, and just slice your throat. I can't. You're too far. I get it. Babang balona. I get it. Be like a mayina. What you look like most fatlechong. I get it. I don't know you, so I can't just get in my car, drive to where you're at, shoot you dead, so that I don't have to deal with you anymore. I can't just at a whim, out of a moment of passion, just come and end you. Cause I'm nazi. And I've been saying, Hori, do yourselves a big fat chunky favor and leave me alone, because lebatla musadi that is going to premeditate ukshona gwenu. Because the moment I would ever find out that munna oke munyetseng wa lawyer, I promise you nka moemela ora arubale, and then I would drive a knife into his chest arubezi or on his throat. Ke chiloka. I am not beyond ubulala lankutwa. I am not beyond it. I am absolutely not beyond it, because at this particular juncture, hotelwa hakana ka ditlhare ke maswami. Ha le tlong patla le ka sing ha botlhoka kana be nna ke sa zame ho le kenya makasing self. Y'all are not going to work to the nail gatlunganjena to put me in a casket and have me not work similarly to the nail to put y'all in caskets too. So after ki lahlela ka juice rabishi ya letawa le mo jarateng, then ke tlotla mona ke etse mosebetsi ona, following which I'm going to spend all night long ke rapela, and God is going to give me exactly what I want. I've been saying it. Ke chelo maobane hore anyone that's standing in my way halena nago. 5 4 3 2, your time is up, it's over. And last night I had a dream of that nature. Last night ke lorile ka 5 4 3 2 and a whole bunch of amadoda. Can we just talk, okay? You cause family members to manifest. Nka se lo tlhaba nna o swa ka thipa. Mara ke tlo mo lahlela ka lebotolo la liquid fruit. Ko mo lahlela ka le box la liquid fruit le lo lenda strategic lo ga tlo tseba go ska tlo ntlwaela, ska tlo ntella. Tlogela my drinks mo fridging. Right now you're poking and prodding away at me. Wa tseba go wangwa ona le leqhoko. And wa tseba gore ke tletse ka hlame jwame o longata fela. Why? Because I'm persecuted. I'm irritable. Ke fra ke nar. I'm going through a spiritual war that you will never understand. So tsoga o saying ka 2 a.m. lo pega spinach because you're manifesting demons cause ke rapel. Do that. Take it out on freaking spinach maharanga o saying wa nkutla. Take it out on cigarette le bojwala bo bongata bo bokana. Mara nna o ska tlotla go nna. Ha eba nna madimona ga go manifesta because na ke rapela all day long mo jarateng ke kopa o lonwa nipi ya hao. O tswe go nna. O mfete first stop. O ngise ntlu ka fela ka bojwala. Do that. Mara nna go nna personally. Nyagnenga ungangibambi ngama washing cause you will regret it. Haona le balance cause la utawe so anka go pusha nje fela o tla wa ene tumpi ya bithu e tla tlha. Tswa mo nna ke kotsi. Ke ba chiftisa ba mo jarateng by cordially just letting them know that nyagnenga I'm in a spiritual war. Mara you Nina that are watching my content, you are not my sibling. You are not my family members that just keep on helping the rabishi tsa banna hore ding za megankane. Le di rabishi tsa banna that I want dead. Ha ke qeta o shiftisa satanenyana ya mo jarateng ya letawa out of the way. Ka go mo latlhela a tlo lenda mo tlhogong ka le botlolo ka le box ya liquid fruit. I then go to God and I'm like, this can't carry on anymore. Go fedile. Ke maswabi nya situation ena ke feelang ka it's not giving. O tlo ntlogela na re go le jana just like that? Are you gonna let these people kill me nje fela ban push over the edge? Ke le mo edging already. Just like that. And then ke tsa mosebetsi ona, ke rapele bosiu kaofela, ke robale, and then look at me dream about your mass murder. Look at me dream about your mass homicide. Look at me dream about your mass funeral services, and look at me dream about the release of my person through ukshona gwenu. Look at me dream about ukdujula gwenu. Look at me dream about ukshayiswa yimoto of y'all. Look at me dream about y'all nisha. One of them kimolorila chamohara building, just like that. Anzali biza matamata, like what's it gonna do for you? Matamata abuti khufedi, let's so chill. You are not getting out of this because something exploded and this bugger anza shahaha anza matamat. You endure me through all this, thinking gutiguzo shona mina kodwa mina I'm trying to protect my life. I grab a shield, get the protector, and then janyana enzeli busy in lahlela ka matlapa mo jarateng. Mo koting wa ka mo ke leng koteng ke nka matlapa a teng be ke washa pa ona bag hore a lo lenda mo motho teng a ntlogele o tswa mo nna ka Bruce because o sebedisitswe as a vessel of dishonor against me. Mara the root cause, the random rubbishes that sent that nonsense, the rubbishes that caused a manifestation of umuntu azovuka nje ekuseni ngo 2 a.m. azopheka spinach. Ngoba akakwazi ukudila ngendaba ukuthi umuntu emva uyathandaza. The people who did that, yibo that are not gonna get away ka liquid fruit nje fela etlo lenda mo window splashing everything all over the show. Yeah. Yibo abazodila ngemoto behind them while whamming them on the ground because some driver, some motorist lost control and went on zoli busy ulo phone telling your secretary or your personal assistant hore a book meeting for 2 p.m. sorry, with another client. Otochiswa ke koloi since I know only half sentence. So I guess no, we're not going to be having the 2 p.m. now, are we? Let's go. I'm not going anywhere. I told you. Mara letlong zama. Ke lona, body lights out. So let's just get straight into it. La bona gore title ya mina ere filth has declared war, but only because that's how God is killing it. Ke chilo kare ga ke expect hore le lo lengisa matsogo lang kutlwa. I don't expect you hore let's ka tlo fitla in this sporting match of ours more ka rapanang re ngwapanang hore le tlo fitla nte fela lo file manala singers as banna a ke re dikentse di cherry di busy ka di kwai mo TikTok ntse le di busy la pere di wiki tsa rona cause dikentse di cherry. Yeah, this effeminate spirit that's made you pursue women unto death. A le batlo re be strong re sebetse re etse anything mamela. Mafu a lona ke wa bone hey. Like, y'all need to understand the way that God is so picking up on Lebanna, ne? The way that he is picking up on with black men, the way that Ale Blanca thing, yes, like it is because of what you have done single-handedly to black women. Like, you have made women real. You've made them evil. You've made them mourn. You have made them insufferable in his sight. You have taken away that dainty, coy, sweet thing that Basari generally have. You have made them lose their ability to nurture. Because what reasons about one santo elileng yona di cherry tsa hotawa tse dingata tse tletseng naga that are also wreaking havoc in my life. The way that modimo a sa le batleng lona ka teng e banna, you can see it, I can see it mina personally in my dreams, in how it is that God is dealing with the cherry tsa di Satan versus banna ba teng. Hashem haloloka ke chilo ka re there's going to be like a whole epidemic of the creation of widows. What, like your witchcraft is a widow maker. Danki san. Buloi balona ki widow maker is an orphan maker. Y'all are about to die in your numbers and a bo tegene balona batabe bankwatetse hale tlhokafala. Mara ha ke na taba because girl. Njaya how ha ebane e tlo khoza le tawela kontung hore leng ravaza lenke di drink tsa ka di ntse fridge ngore di obola on the counter. Ha ebane boloi ba lona bo tlo khoza hore nna ke fote steam ke lo lahlela di juice mo pavement mo driveway. Ha ebane boloi ba lona bo tlo khoza hore nna ke ntse ke busy ke besha menyako ke raga menyako mo jarateng, disturbing peace, causing neighbors to wonder where's alang mo. Batong, I have anibolo ibaluna botlo cause all that level of freaking unrest. When I who sow discord between brothers. Tlhaloganya hore a ke qeta ho come down no ke tla mo ke tlo bua. And then make a rappel. Within a couple of hours, the thing that did that to me lights out. I am here to happily announce that God finally gave me a due date, a timeline, and I am grateful for that timeline yakhona ngoba it says ukuthi next week ngizobe ngirecline my feet up on a chair in Zanzibar kinwa straw sa some coconut drink. Labona title yaka. Let's read it again. Filth has declared war. And then there's like a whole little declaration piece of paper, but only because that's how God is killing it. And then there's like a watch that you can see there. First it's at the uppermost hour mark, and then it's half past, and then it's uppermost again, because that's how quickly your time is up. The hourglass sand is officially depleted, and I am grateful because this thing that I'm feeling now and all this rubbish of manifestation of itagwa lase jartin iyaphela as at midnight ngamhlanje. I know shame. The Lord made it clear to me, Hori, time is up. It does not matter that this content, by the time I post it, some of y'all will already be dead, because I'm only going to put it up on Thursday. It's Wednesday today, the 13th of November. But by the time it's up, midnight of Wednesday, 13th of November, will be done. I need to go pee so I can tlhalosetsa you what in the world I saw in my dreams. Gore le tlo tsebo gore nna ke tlo ntse ke tshwara ka di washing ke rabishinyana e sa batleng go tlogela bojwala mo jarateng. Ha le tlo sebedisa anyone with any kind of demonic problem to be all up in my grill. Anyone that is a junkie, a drug addict, anyone that is an alcoholic, anyone nje fela o dula nga ihlohlonya because we need a fix. Ha ke tama ba tlo manifesta a tlo sebedisega. It tlo ba a magic carpet ngathi unina ningu Aladdin and just ride it bazotlapiwa out the way. Lenna ke na le my own ways of handling batho ba tlo manifestelang rubbish nje fela ke sa have a coming. Ke ba tlogela ke a thola ke here, and largely abantu ba yahlonipha indaba yokuthi I am no nonsense. Mara the one person that decides to kungzama for the day shame, they live to regret it. They wish they never did it. Ba nathama nala wankutla. Ke a thabiwa, like y'all need to understand. Le mo jarateng mo kopa le ska nyanza. Nyangeng, I am obviously a supernatural being in a way that not only my mom and my little sister has observed, but even die alcoholic has also observed it. Ke kotsi, ke sifutu, ke spitsa parafini, ke something nje fela e imelang, ke bokete ene bang tshaba, even though they act like abenandaba nam. Bayazi ukuthi kunesirithi nje that is around me. Hona le kotsi e ke tsamayang ka yona, lebitso la gagwe ke mollo, lebitso la gagwe ke morena Jesu ngusomandla. Kuyazwa ukuba labantu blaba last time bangithinta, every time bangithinta akuhambeki for them. Bayazi noma bangidelela, noma bangenandaba nam, noma bangenandaba ne spiritual gift yam. Bottom line is, largely bangitlogela fela, because ba tseba hore in and of themselves they're on borrowed time. Ba tseba hore na le some kind of electric strike e shapang bona when they hurt me. It always ends badly for them. Guna evidence that they have been able to make an observation of sufficiently enough to stop giving me grief. Lankutlo. Mara every so often nona le motho ipang matla. O fila nka roto itshasa ka oil ya lo shine all up in my grill and flex a muscle. Ngarolwetsa photo shoot ya FHM. Every so often kunomuntu nena bravado. Kodwa lalelani eva we jaka khalitletse ka bravado khakana. Leskatlo imagine hore le kanna lentse le tsola pele le batho ba teng that manifest, because like I said, ba itshatsitse mafura mangata to do a photo shoot for some licentious magazine. Le bona batho ba teng bang tshaba lantse every so often bang khotla. So hore why lona le sang tshabe, I don't understand, because nina angintandi. Nina, I'm not advocating for you. I'm not standing in the gap. Ngenga usomandla ukuthi anikeze sinye isikhathi. Long story short, you're not my family. Anginandaba nani. Grandshap ngifuna nibhodile. You are my enemies and nothing else. So, unlike the FHM model, ophatimanga oil, flexing muscles ta gagwe tsa busatane all up in my grill. Y'all are just some random strangers in these streets that are causing this level of crazy. mo jarateng ya ko heso. Ntse ke rapela dijara, ntse ke rapela mengwaga, ntse ke rapela di-days, matsatsi, ntse ke rapela di-ura. They all add up. And I did let you guys know the other day ukuthi isikhathi manje. It's time. I've been praying for years, I've been praying for months, I've been praying for weeks, I've been praying for days, and I've been praying for hours. In other words, the window of prayer has been closing in on you. You are like ones who are in a room that keeps getting smaller and smaller, because it's barely noticeable how the walls are moving in. But at some point, you're going to be claustrophobic because you're in a 4x4 cube. And this cube will keep on getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I've been saying, get out, seek the Lord's face to escape. Eventually, you're going to get crushed. I am no longer praying now for years. I am no longer praying now for months. I am no longer praying now for weeks. I am no longer praying now for days. I am no longer praying now for hours. It appears I am now praying for minutes. In other words, when I release my prayers and all of this attrition that I am in, you are going to drop dead within minutes. It is no longer years, months, weeks, days, or even hours. It's minutes. And that's what I dreamt about. Let me use the bathroom. You know, thank God that I'm back. Thank God that Christianity avails us an opportunity or a louver legroom to brutalize, vandalize, and absolutely humiliate and utterly obliterate people without getting our hands dirty. Because we belong to the one true God. Thank God that all the wrath that a person can feel against umuntu hlanyayo, thank God that he lives, that we can overcome through him. Picture this. Imagine having a stalker. Imagine having a stalker, okay? And this stalker has been around for pretty much ever since you moved into a new neighborhood. You were so excited about your new house. You have just started a new job. You've moved to a new city. You're about to meet new people, new opportunities. It's a new leaf. And you come from, let's say, divorce from an abusive husband. You have just been divorced from an abusive husband, and you are now on a roll as a woman to heal. You're on a journey of recovery. It's been 2 years since your divorce. You're finally starting to have some kind of semblance of hope, normal life. You're finally not as bereft all the time anymore. You've got your 2 kids and a perfectly viable restraining order against your ex-husband or deadbeat. And then you move into a new neighborhood and you are out here painting your house. You are out here meeting next door neighbors and kids back next door to introduce them to your children and all that jazz so they can go play, so your kids can get accustomed to the new province that you're now living in. You're essentially starting again, you know, and like proper, you're looking forward to healing and having a future and watching your children grow, and that's what's good. Alright, you're free, you are no longer sister bereft, and a company has awarded you an opportunity to earn quite a handsome amount of money, and so therefore give your children a much better life. And while you are there, you then go to like Builder's Warehouse, looking for somebody to help you with tiling, or looking for someone to help you carry boxes. Yeah, never mind tiling. This person is just there to help you. These people, these boys that you get from Builder's Warehouse, they're just there to help you, you know, carry heavy stuff. Your kids live on Nabavanyane, so they can't really help you along. The furniture removal company only just, you know, did the bare minimum and put the stuff more or less where you want it, but you still need help, and you still need somebody to weed out grass, go gardening and whatnot. And then you go and you hire some dudes back at Builder's Warehouse, and then their boss, like some dude that's driving a van with a whole bunch of stuff, members that belong to him. Yeah, so it's like, ma'am, hire us, and for a small fee you'll have all of these guys at your disposal for the next week. And then you are like, oh, okay, cool. It's a pretty good bargain. I'm good. The boys come in, they do whatever, uproot weeds, help you paint, help you basically get situated, tell you where stuff is. Like, this is where the ShopRite is, this is where the Woolies is, this is where whatever. Because they locals, you know what I'm saying? But on the first day that they started working, you had a conversation with boss thing, and you came to learn that he owns a construction business and it's booming because the town is developing. And he then says that it would be great if you're prepared, if you're willing, would you be happy to have lunch with him so he can show you around? You then agree on some, okay, this guy's a construction boss, whatever. His boys but in my house and he's a single guy, oh sharpo. And then, for crying out loud, what in the world? You go on one date with him and he just starts manifesting all this rudeness. He speaks to waiters and waitresses like they ain't jack. He basically has a delusion of grandeur. He's aggrandizing. He's got a pomp about him that is an immediate turnoff. An immediate turnoff to you. And then you're like, Yasin, Abuti, I'm sorry. It was great. Thanks for lunch. Thanks for dinner. And then you just go about your business. Only for you to essentially not be aware that you have just commenced the next 4 years of just a violent fight that is going to bring back a severity of PTSD triggers paling in comparison to your deadbeat ex-husband. Because after all, your ex-husband, you did marry him and you were with him for years. In other words, he did not snap on you in just mere days. It took time. Your ex-husband only started to manifest violence lidi tlapa 5 years into the marriage. Uvelenje wa change one day after starting a new job. After losing his brother, that's when he became more violent. He started to drink and then he became all odd. And so that's why your marriage fell apart. But there was a time when he was a better guy. This Oki uvele wa kamuka out of nowhere like a bat out of hell anjalo from the get-go. So get trigger, your ex-husband ya help, but without the forewarning. Without the initial ushapo. Without the initial I'm chill until get surprised wa get lap. I mean, really, how would you tell your ex-husband on steroids? A man that you already have a restraining order against. You've got a restraining order against him. Grandchapo Abantwana, he has got to work like a dog to improve himself before he can ever see his kids. And Ushiye Echauteng, you are now living in Limpopo. So distance also helps. Your ex-husband is a known crazy that everybody is prepared to go and protect you from, because divorce was this time around he hospitalized you. That's what's good. Your ex-husband and a person that's going to manifest all that crazy within mere days. And because your ex-husband, you have those experiences, you have triggers in you, pressure points in you as a woman. You know when a guy is starting to say certain things, be a certain way, do stuff. So you tell yourself early on, you'll be good, you'll be home safe. Because the signs were already there. Your ex-husband. So this dude is out here flaring up real quick on a first date, rude to the waiters and waitresses. A misogyny about him. On the day that he met you, it would be great if you wore those on a first date. Already he's starting to show some kind of megalomaniacal controlling streak in him. And you then, after that one lunch or that one dinner, are like, you know what? No, it's cool. And this guy will go out there in the wilderness. Because I'm not going through round 2. But because Lenja Lena is pompous, he's arrogant, and in no for an answer, coupled with the fact that sister opuma ejozi maboneng an urbanized beautiful woman maharing at the rural burbs. What Johannesburg? wa swagger ya inner city, ya big city. O tlo mo thola kae? Mo go leng dry mo Limpopo. O tlwaetse o jola le di-plazi girls, ba dula ba mo ngenga vele. They're constantly kissing his behind because they are psycho fans to the fact that he is the one dude in a 20-kilometer radius that runs his own business and wonka mata abo tiken la emgaqini bayamfuna. Manje wena maphume Josie, it's like really every second house bakhona labantu, please. Every second house is a businessman. Every second house is a tenderpreneur. Every third house there is a man that runs his own consulting firm. Every fifth house there is some dude with a 6-figure salary. So it's got Josie Babakan. And then kitwile da because Grandshop, I just want to be single for a season. Leave me alone. Mara lo muntu o try lo koma. O tlwaetse nje fela go koma ona cherry e sa itatlheleng ko yena. And so o consider a brave, voluptuously arrogant. Togum reject, togum ukuthi you know what, it's okay, no, I don't want to go on a second date, coupled with the fact that megafuna ukujubisha ngawe ngoba uphume Josie Maboneng. O batla lo bontsha place e ya tswang ko yona, o motho wa ko Josie Maboneng, o thotse city girl o Eben. What twang? And you did not award him the opportunity ukuyoziqhenya ngendaba yokuthi uyakwazi ukubamba lo muntu. He can bamba for wetsike o tseba go bamba. He knows how to shela. O tseba go thola cherry. The new hot mom in the town. Uzotholwa uyi. How dare you say no to me? You're rude. You speak to waiters and waitresses like they ain't jack. How o driver rough. O bua le nna nkare a ke itsebe, nkare a ka tlhalefa. Nkare ke qamuka mo strateng mona ka spitsa parafini ka arrogance to dare be intelligent. You are a misogynist in the worst way, and you are a spoiled misogynist, a spoiled chauvinist, because women in these streets are psychophans. They don't stand up for themselves. Habana say, because vele ba tlwaetse go tlhokomelwa. Una le plazi mindset, and lana o kgosi, here you are a chief. Mara given that you're dealing with the city girls ka tlongbora. Ang spice kelem sako. Hi guys. As in, a ke tsebo gore nna ke o letse jwang di rubbish tsa banna ba so ba bangata so. Yes, ba bangata guys. Baningi la matota ba tshwaela bo taken ba maplasi ba tloetse di tshirinyana tsa di slay queen. Di cherry that will out you kiss the butt of a rude guy like indoda engakazi. Indoda that you always have to keep on apologizing to waiters and waitresses. Oh, ha abu wali di waiter di waitress. You then interject and you smile. Ha wali bona, you smile at them. So that they can feel comforted by Tabarwena, you're not as rude as the guy that you're on a date with. And then you don't even raise it. But why is it cherry that just take that rubbish in their stride? Ay, Shem, no. Indotanje that's going to call waiters and waitresses like that. Go restauranting. That level of rudeness. That level of crazy. Amatota, however, that have got money to throw around. Quite a bit of it, you understand? To just throw around. And so the chiriza sa itlwaelang chelete, or even if by itlwaetse chelete mara they like to be supplemented by amatota, they take yonke lenyongo in this stride. They just take it all. These men that are called high value men. Women out here be tripping over their toes and breaking their teeth to be with them. Until these men meet a woman that wants character and frankly finds it distasteful. That he's just so generally rude. Like, you don't get to talk to me like that. You don't get to speak to waiters and waitresses like that. They're people. You don't get to, etc., etc. You initially, Moni Abuwa that way with his staff, his boys. Yo boxes and everything. But you imagine dukuti I otseba stuff sa gage wa tseba gore ke mang sipho o rata o drag his feet. Wa tseba gore Temba every so often he sleeps on the job. So ha ntsa bua le bo sipho le bo Temba. No, don't drop that. No, boy, yeah, you just imagine okay, he knows his stuff. But then when he talks like that with everything and everyone, when he is rude like that to everything and everyone, when umgani wakho next door neighbor, the new person that you just met, the lady from next door that you just met, when you are like, oh, Spusi, this is Rinelwe. He's like, yo, hi. So how are you doing today? Rude even to Renelo, to a point where Renelo can't even get a word in on some, hi sir, how are you? Lomuntu is just rude. Basically, his character leaves a lot to be desired. There are women who make observations of this kind of crazy in a man and are like, I bakhona bothegen that are happy to be with you ngoba unemali, but mina nginandaba now. Akibatle monna oling rude. Ebe atlo flare a violent streak. a violent streak. Imagine a man like that. You out here are trying to start a new leaf. You are trying to do a new thing. You are trying to go out there and soar like a bird. You want to heal. You've got old wounds. Lo muntu lona is out here like nkaka utosa wallpaper that on a newly plastered wall, on a newly wallpapered wall. Watlosa msebenzi owuyenzeng. All the construction work you did. He's out here breaking down a cornice on the ceiling. He's out here like anza put these scratches on the skirting, the new skirting, that is your heart. This brokenness that you are in, that you have been recovering concerning, because it's been a couple of years since your divorce. It's just unraveling every last new construction project in your heart that you have started. Holo fola, for crying out loud. You can tell ukuthi lo muntu lona is going to unravel ama-tiles wakho uzowa like utloqhaqholla di-tile tseo di kentseng ko bathroomong ya pele wa hao. So because he already put a crack in one of the tiles, you're like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna replace that tile, but I'm never gonna hang with you again, because tomorrow you're gonna bulldoze my entire house. You're gonna rock up here with some machinery, your gandas from your construction company, and you are going to mow my whole house to the ground. I've got triggers, so this time around I'm far more easily breakable than I was before. With my husband I was coy, young, dainty, and naive, so there was room for me to be broken with avenue for recovery, better than there ever can be now. This time around I got triggers. This time around, I am put together with freaking sticky tape, bugger. So please, I get a relationship just for the sake of being momarato. No. And you think that because you just rejected this dude after one date, you think I mean, this thing did not last 2 days, mos. As I last a month. As we didn't kiss. We didn't even hold hands. We just went for lunch. I wasn't even officially your girl, for crying out loud. Just somebody that was trying to give you a chance. And I observed things that were triggers to me. And so, I made the right decision to cordially just let you know that this is not going to work out, but thank you, I appreciate lunch. And then this individual makes your life a living nightmare for the next 4 years. This man decides to stalk you, calls you, got a private number. How Araba you find out that it's him. How he's outside with flowers, he drops them off. You get delivered the malomo, go officing. As I got this guy, you tell him, leave me alone. When you go to the police and you try to get a restraining order, they say, but like he hasn't done anything to you. And his stalking, you claim that he's done it, but he hasn't. Like, there's no proof. You can't, like, you know, the sad thing about stalkers is that unless when, as a person who is being stalked, fix this yourself. Understand the law is not going to do anything for you. Some of the baddest stalkers in the game know how to keep their hands looking clean, while making the life of a person a living nightmare for years on end. Years. So this person lingers around Jaradahau. He's a construction worker. I get it. He owns a construction business. He then starts taking a whole bunch of projects in your complex Modulangdane or your neighborhood. So how about Venya thing Ali there? He's like, no, Kim Sebetswaka, please. Like, I'm not tailing you. He then starts to deliberately try to get close to you by Hojola, one of your colleagues, so he can pick up a woman every single day at work that works in your department, just so he can keep eyes on you. He then goes out to Nebayako. He then, yo guys, Lomundlona then calls you Epsugu blah blah. Then he starts getting violent. He starts orchestrating break-ins, robberies, using abafana bakhe without getting his own hands dirty. And so then you move house. You make a decision, as in, I'm going to move. I'm going to move from here. You then move from where it is that you stay to another place, but you still work at the same job. So he prospers somehow to get your address, your new one, from your colleague with whom you're tight, claiming to be something, guys. And then he finds your new place where you stay. Then he starts harassing your children. He starts picking them up at school, saying that your mom said, I must fetch you. Afa bana how aba betchetsa ka carry. Aba for the 100 rand, the 200 rand. Your kid comes back and is like, mommy, somebody gave me 200 bucks. That nice gentleman that was here the other day to do work Montplum. He came and he said that you were okay to have him pick us up instead of our transport. Lona, because you went after your kids, you then go and you confront him personally. Leave me alone. Leave him. I know. How Sharp, fine. I was just trying to be helpful. I touch you seriously. You walk away, and then this person starts to invest in a crazy amount of that very Limpopo witchcraft all up in your grill. Uyampupa, ubona paraphernalia ko jarateng ya gago, hona le misi e chilling mo bojwangong bosigo, saying how you can tell that a ritual was done. Kolono ya gago. You don't know what to do. You are running from pillar to post. Understand, the day arrives when Lona, all you want now is for them to die. All you want is for them to get hit by imoto. All you want is for them to get into an altercation at a bar and receive a fatal blow. All you want, basically, let something kill this person because maponesa nakasing believe. Hankanka tipaka ya ko jarateng ya ka mola yourself. I'm a mom. I cannot be out here leaving abantwana bam to go to prison. So you literally just cross your fingers. But you see, that's just the sad thing about having a stalker. Lona is just gonna keep following you, and you trying to avoid prison, you're just gonna have to deal with it and hope to lomuntu yashona. And that's the sad and disquieting thing about people who are stalked by witches, who are stalked by wicked men, who are stalked by Satanists, who are stalked by persistence when they don't know Jesus. When you don't know Jesus, Aishem, here, you will be listless. There will be nothing that you can do. An inability to move left and right. You will basically live a miserable life of constantly trying to move from pillar to post in order to eradicate stalking, but this person will always find you. Well, help me explain to you what's been going on with me for a decade, never mind 4 years. A decade. Never mind 4 years. And at the hands of this many stalkers, never mind just one. From an already abusive, crazy relationship where a person started out alright in the beginning of the relationship and then later on became a menace to society. An ex-boyfriend who was okay in the beginning, he became abusive in the latter parts of our relationship. I had post-traumatic stress. Already I was wary of amadoda nje abhizi nabo sharing ngaditlhare. Already nenze ke shebile. I already had my eyes out there ke shebile. Banna ke le carefully, just literally everything that a man says ke mamela waiting with that acute hearing. Hore ke tlo pick up those design man, so that when something glitches and twitches, I'll pick it up. After getting out of that relationship, I gave my life to Christ. And 2 years into my relationship with God, into my salvation, 2 years into my salvation, I start dating a guy that I thought was Christian. Understand this dude, initially I didn't want him because I was a very serious Christian and he was too playful for my liking. He spoke all the right Christianese, but there were fruits of his life that were not given. And so I had an apprehension in me. And my first experience of Korobela would be from that guy. Before that dude. No man had ever won me over for him to be his girl through a love spell. And until that guy. All of my boyfriends in the run-up to me coming to Christ, from the time I was a teenager up until the time I gave my life to Christ, none of them did I ever koma because they manipulated me spiritually. It was all very organic. The original Kasi way, it would only be the last guy that I was with that would only because of how much he dragged his feet in the relationship and how disillusioned I was getting in it, then determined to start using witchcraft inside the relationship to manipulate me to stay because I kept on threatening to leave. That was me then being manipulated inside a relationship by Munawadi Karamara. He started out, like I said, it was organic. He started out alright. We were just organically naturally. But somewhere along the way in the relationship, I so I had never known, I could never know what it's like to not have feelings for a guy and then suddenly have them. Because he manipulated things spiritually, even though mengamfuni zolo today ngizomfuna. And my ex-boyfriends wam anglandele muva ngemithi still to this day did that after ngphuma kubo. The guy who broke my virginity came at me after ngiphume kuye. Some dude that I used to date that was a closet homosexual uzeg after me after ngiphume kuye. All the guys that I was with that slapped me, my ex-boyfriend, the one that passed away in a car accident, uzeg gave me gadi only after ngiphume kuye. So basically, I never, mina personally, as Karabo says, I get a Hlongwane. I can't tell you what it's like to be in a relationship 24 hours a day from the time that you start dating a person to nje fela okuvimbwa as a puppet on a string from the get-go. Ukena fela sa duba motho ukena fela setse a butswa setse a phega. Ungena sa le already busy now. Already he's your puppet master from the very get-go. I have only ever had two such relationships. And it's unfortunate because both of them happened when I was in Christ. So, because I did not know what Korobela looked like, I never could have been able to figure it out for what it was despite being a child of the living God. All I know is that a guy that I was apprehensive about, all of a sudden I had strong feelings for him one morning when I woke up. And all of his Christianese that I was not so convinced by, I ignored. I ignored the fact that I was apprehensive about him. And every time he would walk by, I remember telling this one colleague, because he used to work for MTN, this one colleague friend, I remember saying to her, yes, like it, listen up now, I'm a Christian, I'm all refined. There's certain speech that is no longer just gliding past my tongue anymore. But I kept on telling my colleague, okay, every time I look at that guy, I just feel like one khansa, and I used the word sexy to describe him to my friend / colleague. I was like, I just think he's so sexy. And my colleague would look at him and be like, okay, Karabo. It's like, yeah, look, one woman's treasure is another woman's trash. So you might not think he's all that, but I think he's sexy. I was lustfully attracted to that guy. I just wanted to have sex with him. But I could not fathom being his wife because he was just so irresponsible. He was just such a child. He was so boyish, even though he was older than me, that I could not see him being a man to me. Kodwa, I wanted him sexually. That's what Korobela looks like, but I didn't know. At the time, I was in training as a Christian. I was in training under spiritual war. I was in training to be able to identify what a love spell feels like, what it looks like, and how it impends on you, how it suddenly encroaches up your skirt. It tends to come on you like a wave of lust, not so much love. It is full of passions. It's that which induces what would be sexual sit in a person. You just want to have sex. And it's not still and quiet like romance that is embarked on by two people who are genuinely falling in love. It tends to be violent instead of passive. It's more aggressive than it is passive. And like I said, it's full of lust. It doesn't have chill. It doesn't have relaxation. It just has a lot of haste in it. So under a Korobela spell, it's very easy to fornicate. And I also came to learn, seeing as I was in training, that even as a Christian, you can get afflicted by a love spell, because it came at me. I was consecrated, I was super prayerful. But the difference between me and any other woman that was not in the Lord was that I was like, God was causing this man to manifest so much evil in my grill that it would have been essentially my irresponsibility to ignore those red flags. He was rude. He was not only rude, he was arrogant, he was pompous, he was self-seeking, and I don't know how many times his iPad sort of kind of fell into my presence, and there were pics in his iPad that he had taken of random females, colleagues in the office when they were not looking. He was a freaking weirdo. Like, he used to work closely with the marketing team, and at marketing there were all these beautiful girls, and some of them, when I remember when he was showing me some of his designs on his iPad, he had taken photos of them basasheba. Like one chick, laptop typing, and the photo was taken from like this angle, and he claimed that that's because he was just a photographer and he likes taking photos. But then when you happened upon another woman, and like there were so many chicks that he had just taken pics of by like looking in the sky, or talking, or typing, or just walking, or just like these women that did not know that photos of them were being taken. That was the Lord saying, honey, this is the guy that you're with, because he's got a lust problem. And then there were all these stories that he would tell. There was one woman in particular when we started dating that I was good peoples with her, and she was good peoples. And when we started dating, she started giving me attitude. And I couldn't understand why she was giving me attitude, only to find out that it's because every so often he was making out with her. And she realized that I was a new interest in his life. And so she started to spawn with me. She started to have energy with me because apparently I was taking her man. Yeah, but he claimed Duguti, and now he was a celibate, he was waiting on God, and these women are just his colleagues, blah blah. And every so often at a marketing event, he would out just smooch a girl, they'd out just make out at a work event for hours on end until this chick would feel entitled to him, such that when then he's seen walking with any other woman in the office, that woman would then be the scorn of this other woman. So this chick started giving me attitude because this dude who lied about who she is to him, she started to give me attitude because of my relationship with him. Anyway, these are the things that were going on. I did not know what Korobela looked like, therefore, right? I didn't know. So, I just thought that these were my feelings organically. He bridled me with lust. That I had determined never to kiss before I get married. So definitely not making out a whole bunch on a couch. And I did not want to be found alone in a man's house without there being a chaperone. I knew what I wanted the courtship process that would be involved before I get married would entail. And I had a Bible-believing church that would enable that chaperoning. And he could not stand my brethren.